Hey, everybody. Fascinating topic today, diving into the world of revenue operations with the leader in this space, Clari. Rohit, how are you?
I'm doing great. Nice to see you, man.
Nice to see you. Really intrigued by your mission and journey. You're a key player in the revenue operations space for some time. Maybe introduce yourself and a little bit about the team and your mission.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks for having me, by the way. So, Rohit Srivastav, I lead the global product organization here at Clari. I'm the chief product officer. So, tasked with the mission of building a revenue platform for all of our customers. And here at Clari, I think, as you said, right, I mean, by way of background, by the way, I've been in the product building space, product manager, a general manager for the last 20 years or so, mostly building platforms to solve multiple problems, use cases with a single technology or set of technologies. So I love that space, right? And like you mentioned, revenue obviously needs a lot of help, and that's what we're doing at Clari. But prior to that, many years at Cisco, at Amazon, both consumer and AWS side, running businesses, building platform for consumer grade IoT technologies, and then at Anaplan, building a SaaS platform for enterprise wide planning. So yeah, I mean, being in this area, revenue is a very, very interesting challenge, and that's what we're trying to go solve here at Clari. So yep.
Well done. And talk about the current landscape of revenue operations and revenue collaboration, something you're very big on. Maybe what does that mean, first of all, and what's the big idea behind this
Yeah.
changing landscape?
Yeah, that's super interesting, Evan, right? So if you think about it, right, in any company, uh, it looks like revenue is the most important business process for most companies. Should be, right? That sort of is what brings in the money, right? Keep the ship running, if you will. And what we've noticed is it's the least optimized business process, right? There's never been any platform or technology to sort of what we call run revenue. We like to use the term run revenue. And what that means is helping our customers create, convert, and close more pipeline by using technologies, AI, and automation. Because
Mm.
fundamentally, there's a lot of inefficiency in that system. If you look at tools today, it's a combination of CRM systems, BI tools, Excel spreadsheet, what we call multi-headed hydra. And there's no consistent process, all siloed technologies. You can't get the entire organization on the same page. And we feel like that's the challenge for revenue operations to bring all the revenue personas on a common set of methodologies and an efficient business process, which is then leveraging the best of technologies out there. So, what we say is Clari is building the enterprise revenue platform to help our customers run revenue as a business process. In the process, eliminate revenue leaks, drive better business outcomes, effectively grow, right? Grow smartly and effectively. That's our mission.
Well, it's an important mission. And how does it work from a platform standpoint? How do you get everyone on the same page when it comes to hitting revenue targets? How do you get teams aligned and all that goodness that you talk about?
Yeah, no, it's super interesting, right? So if you think about it, right, from a bottom, it is about first getting the visibility around the revenue. So it's about getting all the right data, right? And where is that data, right? If you think about running a revenue process as revenue person, like sellers are talking to customer, prospecting, figuring out deals, updating CRM systems, inspecting what was working at what stage deals are. Fundamentally, it's you want a single source of truth, right? So that data is beyond CRM for most part. CRM gives you a source of truth around revenue and deals and activities, but you need now data from conversations, right? Sellers are talking to customers, so email exchanges with customers, all the internal exchanges, data that is sitting inside other conversation like meetings with customers and so on and so
Mm.
forth. More and more data coming from others data warehouses. Like if you're running a consumption business, a lot of your product usage and workload data is sitting in other data warehouses, not in CRM. So the foundation of it is bring all the data together. We call it a revenue data platform. Internally, we call it RevDB. And then you need obviously a very scalable layer to mine that data, create insights, right? And that's where I think AI, some of the recent advances in AI have been very, very good because you can mine large scale data and do both predictive as well as generative AI capabilities. You can build them and you can sort of get those insights. But then that's where it gets very, very interesting, Evan, right? Insights are great, but insight in silos are not very helpful. they're helpful when they're helping a user in the right revenue moment. When you basically provide an insight, you're inspecting the pipeline, you provide an insight, you say, hey, these deals are not moving as fast as they should, or the conversations are not happening at the right level seller. That's more valuable than, yeah, I've got 20 deals and 5 of them are going to close. So we use the term right revenue insight in the right revenue moment. And then that brings the notion of workflow. I mean, for following a business process, you got to have a workflow. We call them revenue workflow. Some of them are like, how do you sell to new customers? Some of these are like, how do you expand? How do you retain customer? All of these are business processes and workflow. And then our goal is to mine all that data, create all that insight, and deliver it in the right workflow with the right experience, so that you then make our end customer more efficient, right, and more productive, so that they have the best information at their fingertip to do the right best next thing, either automatically or by themselves. They can make the judgment calls. It's a great assist here.
Oh, it sounds like it. And I would agree, boosting sales efficiency is something we're all after. Doing more with less, more sales with the same or fewer people. But how do you actually help salespeople close deals faster, be more effective? What does that mean for the sellers on the ground?
Yeah, I mean, so let's take a couple of examples, right? I mean, if you think about sellers, so let's talk about the revenue productivity. You're prospecting, right? I mean, you want to figure out, are you reaching out the right customers? Are you reaching the best customers, right? AI could actually effectively help you not only figure out based on where deals are and where the conversations are in the pipeline, what are the right next actions you want to go take? Is it about sending them a message based on some changes that might have happened in their business? How do you auto draft some of those emails and then just surface them at the right time to the seller to say, no, go ahead and send that out, right? So smart prospecting is a good example of leveraging AI to go do that. And given a lot of users use Clari platform for what we call sales engagement, where they're effectively running these workflows with hundreds of prospective customers, they can then very quickly identify what do I need to do at any point of time based on the context of deal and conversation for that particular opportunity, right? The more important, interesting stuff is you always need to keep a source of truth, and a lot of that data needs to flow back to the CRM system. Today, sellers have to spend inordinate amount of time to sort of update their deal, right? What has happened, and so on and so forth. Again, you could do a lot of that stuff very, very smartly. What we call it smart CRM updates, right? So you can identify what's happening. You just finished a call. AI can summarize that call, figure out exactly what transpired, figure out some of the key call outs, and then you simply just push that back into CRM so that you don't have to do the busy work. So the productivity assist, what we call Copilot, is humongous. Now let's take the other example. Remember I talked about driving better business outcomes. So now approach it from a frontline manager perspective. You have a territory, you have like, let's say an account team, you have multiple sellers. At any point of time, you want to figure out how are your deals doing overall, right? And what is your ability for your sales team ability to close effectively and meet the business goals? So we can then look at all the historical data around that team, right, and all the deals which are in the system, and effectively provide a predictive forecast on where you will end. So you already have a marker against, okay, this should happen, and where am I at any point of time? Then you can provide all the indicators using email conversation, sales conversation, effective CRM data to see where those deals are. What are the effective scores of those deals relative to where you want them to be in terms of closing, right? Are they on par, or they're significantly behind? Because your seller telling you that, hey, this thing is going to close next week, but the system tells you that nobody's talked to the customer in the last 4 weeks, right? Or last call that happened talked about concerns about the price, or competitors being mentioned multiple times. So these are all indicators. So you can then do in the moment coaching, right? FLMs, the frontline managers can do in the moment coaching, really sort of get an assessment. What does that do? That effectively makes sure that more of your deals are converting and closing, right? And if more of them they close, you obviously realize the revenue. So we think about that as an end-to-end platform that I think most customers need, whether it's Clari or other. They need that platform where at one end they're driving better outcomes by looking all the data at their fingertip. At another end, they are doing it more efficiently by leveraging the productivity capability that these data and insight and AI capabilities are unlocking. And then you want to do it across all of the workflows. Remember, most companies are now trying to drive more value with a less number of people, right? It's always doing more with less. And that essentially means you want common tools. You don't want 15, 20 different products to go 15 different things, right? You want single unified platform-based product that can solve more of your problems, use cases with this common flows and common technologies. So your sellers are effectively using the technology, and they're doing what they need to do best, selling, right? Versus dealing with the multitude of tools and technologies and spending a lot of time going back to just updating the systems.
Wow, amazing to see that. When I started selling, I had a Rolodex and a phone and a pager. I didn't even have a CRM or laptop. So yeah, look how far we've come.
Yeah.
And talk about unpredictability in the market. We always see companies, missing targets or maybe over exceeding revenue goals. How do you think about handling all these market shift and staying nimble, but maintaining goals when you do get into tougher times?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Actually, this is I want to sort of highlight something for your audience as well, right? So we recently did a survey, right, of almost 420 customers, right? And what we found, Evan, was in this market, where obviously there's a lot of focus on growth and profitable growth, there are a lot of challenges, right? So companies lose almost 26% of their revenue due to systematic breakdown in the process, the kind of things that we're describing, right? Pipelines not covering enough based on your quota, right? You're missing insights on the deals, so the deals are slipping, right? You may not even be looking at all the right deals, right? Or the most effective ways of analyzing those deals. So we call them revenue leak. And it's interesting, right? I think a year and change ago, BCG did that report that $2 trillion of economic value is lost because of these systematic breakdown in processes.
Wow.
Recently, it says 26% of the revenue goes away. And therefore, companies are actually, in this market, they have to do a lot. And like I mentioned, I think companies have realized that AI and automations are great ways of basically driving more productivity and better business outcomes. So we are finding that almost 61% of our customers are actually, or these users are increasing their technology budget, mostly around AI. They're growing their teams, right? A third of them, almost 32%, have already adopted AI, right, to boost revenue process and boost decision making. And the ones that haven't done it, I think they all want to do it on an accelerated pace. What has happened with the advent of Chat GPT and generative AI technology, the speed of innovation has increased. And therefore, people are paying attention. 40% of those 67% are basically want to deploy these AI-based technologies in the next 6 months. The remaining want to go do that in the next year or so. So there's a lot changing. And you would ask me, okay, so just map it back, Rohit. What does that really mean in terms of how do you respond to this market? Almost 60% of our respondents are saying that AI will help them drive better time to revenue. In other words, what I was telling you, right? How do you get better business outcome faster, right? Almost 56% say that they want to improve decision making, another great benefit of leveraging AI-based technology. And then obviously better assessment of market and competitive dynamics is also cited by almost half of our users. So it does feel like, to your point, from the old days of how sales was done, there's clear opportunity to modernize, clear opportunity to leverage the best of technology, but then put it all together in a common platform and deliver it through systematic workflow, what we call revenue cadences that help companies run revenue systematically, because you got to practice this muscle and you got to make sure that you're doing it repeatably and consistently. At the same time, having tools that can help you change if you're changing because of the market condition. Yeah, the tool should change with you, right? So they need to provide the right level of assistance, but then repeatability, predictability, and performance for you to be able to go that work. And that's, I think, is the landscape we are now going to see. And AI is just a force multiplier. It's an accelerator in making that all happen now.
Impressive. So as you know, the enterprise IT world can be quite messy, lots of legacy technology and systems and applications. How do you kind of think about integration into existing systems and making it seamless and not turn into a year-long project?
That's a phenomenal question, Evan, right? And what we're seeing is we're seeing two things. First of all, to your point, you need first of all a thought process and mindset. So we feel like beyond CRO, and at least in our business, we're finding CROs are great champions of obviously optimizing revenue process because they see it directly goes to their job, right? Makes their job better. So we CRO as customers love, for example, our product, right? What you're finding more and more is CIO is playing a much more important role, right? Because to your point, they are tasked with keeping these systems integrated, keeping all the data flowing, and also making sure that in this world of cybersecurity and challenges, it's secure, it's private, it's protected, it's governed properly, and with all the advantage in AI, make sense of which what are the right technologies and so on and so forth, right? So the way we think about is CIOs can actually play a bigger role in most of these companies in being better business partners for the CRO in the business to really rationalize technologies, consolidate them when needed, think more of a platform-centric approach, doing all the traditional things around security and governing, but figure out what are the right ones that will help me solve the business problem my company is facing. And so we take that approach of sort of aligning both CRO and CIOs and then give them tools, right? So we talk about the fact that these data integrations are like automated, right? Tons and tons of data connected to bring data in. We make sure that they understand that this is all protected data and so on and so forth. They have full ability to sort of go figure that out, looking at the tools and technologies. A platform like Clari should provide, right? And very frankly, others needs to provide as well. And then have that agility, right? To your point, businesses are changing quickly. I'll give you an example, right? Consumption is taking a much bigger role. And as AI takes root, most companies are going to leverage AI through their own enterprise data to differentiate their product. And they would want to monetize those products, right? And most of those tend to be consumption-based businesses. You need all the consumption data around your product in alongside the revenue data in one system. And therefore, we're seeing a lot of value in integrating with data warehouses like Snowflakes and Databricks of the world and bring that all data in. So most of it is make sure that's the right platform, make sure CIO understand what the needs are, and then bring these integration automatically and systematically, but then talk about the business value that these data sets are providing, right? So that's sort of the approach we've taken our integration and data and highlighting the need for CIOs.
Yeah, we have an impressive approach. And you have over 1,000 customers, well over. So I won't ask you to pick any favorite children, as it were, but maybe talk about some anecdotes or stories and examples you might be able to share. Companies overcoming, revenue challenges.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, so yeah, I'd like to submit 1,500 customers and more. So thank you for that, right? And we really appreciate being part of the trusted core group of platforms that our customers basically use to run their businesses, right? So I think there are many, and to your point, a lot of them are favorites. I'll give an example of the one we are working recently with. Very, very large, I would say, Fortune 100 level, 100, 200 level company. And they actually picked our product to run every workflow they want, right? So what we call a full platform, right? So again, companies start anywhere. They might start on, okay, I want to make better forecasting decisions on sales. Or they say, no, I want to engage with my sales team to better prospect, right? What we call sales engagement. Or no, I just want to get more insights from all these activities around email and calls that are happening. So we have all of that in the product. They're all integrated together so that the value of the insight from one area sort of goes into another area when needed. This customer actually basically said, okay, we have lots of siloed systems, lots of siloed insight. Our sellers have to use many a tool. They're using one product for conversational insights. They're using another product to do all the prospecting. And then there's a separate forecasting system. We would like to bring it all together. And what they found was by bringing these technologies in one product, not only are they able to enable their sellers faster, they're able to actually get a lot of efficiency, as in hours of productivity every week by leveraging one common tool. And they're finding that their pipelines are increasing, as in their ability to generate a pipeline, because sellers are selling and not doing these other things, has increased. They're finding that because they're systematically running it on one platform, their conversions are increasing, and then slip deal counts have come down. And jury is out as they're working through it over the last year or so. But they believe that they will actually convert a lot more than before. So that entire thesis that I mentioned early on, if you systematically run revenue, you will create, convert, and close more, is playing out. And that's just one customer, right? We love it because this is like, we're talking about an enterprise-grade company that is basically deploying it across thousands and thousands of users at the same time.
Yeah, very impressive. A little bit on the future and direction you're headed. I mean, well, you're sort of living in the future today with AI and Gen AI built in, but what's next? What are some of the big themes for the industry, and maybe a peek into your roadmap or future?
Yeah, no, I think it's a good one, Evan. Right, to your point, given that we are trying to modernize an area of the business that sort of has been ignored in terms of the modern tools and technologies, unlike, let's say, an IT or an HR business process, right, which have been probably picked up a few years ago because they were considered as, okay, those are more back office. We believe sales is a combination of, sales is an emotional process. So we want to make sure that our sellers are front and center. So our thesis is more that our product and technology should be co-pilots, should be accelerators, should be enablers. And we want to map and deliver value to where customers are. So as an example, a lot of our sellers basically leverage Clari product on their web browser, right? They don't have to log into a different desktop, right? Or as they're opening up email, there's a nice little plugin that gives them all the insight at their fingertips. So one of the things we're trying to do from a user experience perspective is obviously bring more AI to the fore. And AI insight should be effectively recommending next action for you. You don't have to make a decision. They should be able to analyze, because they can analyze, AI can analyze inordinately more scale of data that a human can grok at, right? So one of our thesis is a user experience that delivers to customers where they want to be, and AI giving insights and capabilities which are more prescriptive in nature versus information, right? So that's from an experience perspective, that's where we're going. In terms of the pure technology, like I already mentioned, we are finding that the data sets are increasing. So more and more, we are bringing in data from all kinds of product usage data, workload data, propensity to buy data, third-party economic data sets, so that you can look at that to say, hey, did you really create the right business target for your pipeline? Because the economy is moving in one direction. So we feel like all kinds of data can come in. So we are sort of constantly increasing our data platform capability. And finally, the workflow. So I think one thing that we're super excited about is, remember I talked about cadences. We are building a product to almost feel like when you log into Clari, it's like, what do I need to do today based on where I'm in the quarter, and what are the most important things I need to go this week, right? Because you might be in week 1 and you're now looking at what is my pipeline for quarter. Or you might be in week 12 and saying, oops, we have like 3 million gaps to the target right now, and therefore we need to do very specific actions. So organizing our workflows and user experience to help our customers run their business cadences based on where they are in the quarter or in the year is another one. So I think it's a combination of data, insight, and experience that is powering our roadmap. And I feel like the kind of technologies that are coming in, generative AI, it's basically just only going to accelerate that journey. And frankly, the platforms like ours should become the co-pilot or cockpits for user at every level, whether it's the seller or the first line manager or the CRO, or very frankly, CIO and CFOs. They all need to look at it and basically get the right insight and be able to make the right decision. That is our goal.
Wouldn't that be a goal worth fulfilling? Congratulations on all the success, and onwards and upwards. Thanks so much for sharing insights into an area I knew little about, and I'm sure the audience is intrigued by. Thanks, and talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks again, Evan. It was great to
Take care, everyone. Thanks for listening and watching. Bye-bye.
Have a great day.